constitutes church growth? Number one, apostolic teachings. What are apostolic teachings? The Bible says that they continued in the apostles' doctrine. So for a church to grow, there has to be an apostolic teaching. And that apostolic teaching brings more growth. Many of you don't even remember the things in the books. That is why your church is not growing. You preach here, preach here, you preach here, you preach here. You don't even know what you have been saying. There is no unified body of doctrine that drives the church. Then it says they also continued in fellowships. What is a fellowship? Fellowship, as the compound word implies, fellow and ship. Fellowship means categorization of people. One of the signs that the church is growing is that there are fellowships in the church. Number one, couples fellowship. Number two, business fellowship. Number three, students fellowship. Number four, professionals fellowship. Number five, full-timers fellowship. Number six, lay ministers fellowship. Number seven, pastors' wives fellowship. Number eight, lady pastors fellowship. These are fellowships that must exist in a church. It is a sign of a healthy growth. So when you talk about church growth, you are not only talking about numbers. A church is not growing if it has 30,000 people and there is no apostolic doctrine. It's an unhealthy growth. These are the reasons why a church can collapse. A church can have 30,000 members, it will collapse because it was not founded on doctrine, pure apostolic doctrine. So if there are no pure apostolic doctrines, no matter how you prophesy, no matter how you heal the sick, no matter how you feed the poor, the church will not work. When we saw the growth of the church in the book of Acts, it was a church built on apostolic doctrines. This is the reason why the biggest churches in the world are pastored by people who don't seem to even have extravagant gifts. They just have doctrines, pure doctrines. We mention Bishop Oyedepo, you will talk about covenants. You mention Pastor Chris, you talk about divine life. You mention Bishop Dai, you talk about loyalty. These are teachings that have founded the church. It is built on a rock. You call yourself an apostle. Where is your doctrine? What do you teach? Many pastors can't tell what they teach. They can't tell what they stand for. Every church must be identified by its doctrine. There are churches you can tell what they teach in those churches. Until your church has a doctrine that has built and raised the church, your church does not exist. Because what gives identity is a name. In those days, everybody they saw, they could tell these are the people of the way. How do they know? When you say it's not part of the followers of Christ, even your speech betrays you. That means they used to speak even in a certain way. It means the church has a culture. And the culture of every society is built by its teachings. When you are eating, you don't talk. It is through those teachings we have culture. So it is a doctrine that builds a culture. It is teachings that build a culture. If a church does not have culture, it cannot grow. And any church that has only numbers and those churches do not have doctrine, it is an unhealthy growth. It will come down. There are bishops, we can't tell what they preach. Paul said, there is a day God will reveal the secrets of men according to my gospel, according to my teachings, the things I have taught. We are made by what we are taught. Your civility is based on the education, the training that you have. When you see a church that is growing and it's healthy, the first thing you see is that it has its own apostolic doctrine. Whether you like it or not, those who walk around on bicycles with a white shirt, with a black name tag on their chest, they have a doctrine. Charismatics, we have to come back to doctrines. And the difficult part of doctrine is studying. If you are not interested in studying, you can't teach. It is very easy to pray than to study. So everybody can pray, but it's not everybody that can sit down to read. You may even sit down, but you may not be able to read if you don't know the difference between A and C. I want to encourage all of us. If you say you are in the ministry, take interest in the ministry and begin to study.